Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Horn of the Abyss, the Forged in Fire campaign. And we're joining Henrietta here, who's currently the victim of a demonic invasion, shattering the peace in her tranquil little halfling village. And unfortunately, it's even worse than that because we've lost too many halflings to be able to clear this devil that's actually where we need to go. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to restart this scenario now. We're just going to quickly skip through the content we've already seen, so it's not going to take us long. And we are going to have the benefit that we're not going to have to waste time reading signs and quest gates that we know we can't actually access. I'm also going to think about my skill tree a little bit more. Like, I'm not sure if I want offense, if I'm going to think about, like, you know, schools of magic later, right? So, like, offense is not bad by any means, but I probably would prefer armourer. Well, let's grab it, and maybe I'll... So the thing is, there's that tactics guy later. It's hard. I'm going to go for offense. We might just only have one school of magic on Henrietta. So let's grab these halflings. Go through this fight. Because we've got no one split, we actually don't lose anyone, which is nice. Grab these halflings from this hut. Excellent. We're not going to waste time with the Warehouse of Ore. Let's kill these demons. 2 losses is pretty good. Let's see if could we improve on that? Probably not. Let's just accept that. And next turn we can grab this mineral spring. Okay. Let's grab these halflings. That's a bit of a waste of movement. So we've got 40 halflings. This is excellent. So we do have to go through these demons, and then head further south. But I'm going to head to this quest hut now. The Seer's hut. There we go. I'll be happy like a little girl if it weren't for the circumstances. Here is our secret. This is the storeroom of the firecrackers for the New Year's celebration. We set up a dry cage for them, away from the villagers. Halflings are way cautious when it comes to danger and fire, so I insisted on safekeeping these things in a secluded place. Frederick made small batches for him in his spare time, and once a year, the villagers brought themselves to curb their aversion to the scientist, for no one else could give them this beloved amusement. Each time Frederick would get almost a year's worth of foodstuff for the firecrackers. The halflings sure loved their big celebrations. The people of the valley bragged that no one had ever seen fiery rains quite like this, not even in Bricada. And they would stop at nothing to show their neighbours up and enjoy some honest-to-goodness miracles. Frederick would grin dryly and agree that indeed, nothing like that was ever seen in Bricada. There, you just slip a couple coins to some drop-out illusionist quack and get twice the spectacle, he muttered to himself as he carted away his hard-earned pay. The crates contained onion-sized spheres that exploded with a deafening bang, spraying bright droplets of fire all over. Usually they were launched into the sky out of a long pipe, dug into the village square like a spring pole, but we could now use them to arm a few sling-wielding halflings. These perfectly uniform projectiles worked even better for throwing than stone bullets. So let's head to this hut, eh? This is where you stash your supply of firecrackers. Actually, you were saving the festivities, but now they'll be useful elsewhere. All you need is volunteers to arm them. So 20 halflings. The volunteers were a bit weary of the new weapon at first, but now they seem to like it even better than regular ox. They definitely made their shooting way more effective. Do you wish to arm all of the volunteers? Yes. And this is a repeating quest, so we now have 40 halfling grenadiers, significantly stronger than regular halflings. They've got extra attack skill, better damage rolls, and also additional speed, which will make doing these fights significantly easier. So we'll be able to get through them, preferably with minimal losses, and then be able to actually kill this demon, because that's 18 regular halflings? No, but maybe 40 halfling grenadiers. So let's carry on, shall we? We'll start with the several demons fight. Do we want to split anyone off? We'll split 2 off. Are we on a loose formation? Yes. Still a lot of losses, but let's see if we can improve on that. Yeah, it's luring these people down. That's what we want. So imagine that, eh? Slingshot, firing grenades. Good times. There's gonna be a nice double move here. So that's the other thing too, is these guys actually outspeed the terrible demons. So let's blow these lows up. There we are. Who shall we next to explode? Might as well blow up this guy. Could have been a fight, well mind you morale will help, but it could have been a fight where we actually split them into 2 stacks to be honest. But this should work. We'll have to keep an eye out for any additional volunteers because it'd be good to get them grenades. Alright, let's blow up this one first. It's the one that can reach, so... Excellent. Oh, and morale. I'll take it. This is looking much more possible now. I don't even see a need to actually get these guys killed yet. I suppose one of them, but... Yeah, this guy can just come up here. I think losing 1 halfling's acceptable. There we go. The happiest halfling. Oh, the luckiest halflings too. There we go. So I think I will definitely go for logistics though. Let's now deal with the horn demons. Let's try for a 2-stack approach. Just drop a save, why not? Oh, that was excellent. There we go. Brilliant. So, we'll grab the Boots of Speed, and we'll grab the Scholar, and then we'll go head straight for the Devils. Here come the Forces of Evil. So, Tactics, yes. Experience. Yes, this is the difficulty, right? Like, do you get armor or magic? It's like, no. Well, we've made our choices. Let's stick with offense. So I'm just going to head straight for this devil, because I want to get the hammer down. Oh, there's some halflings here. Let's say hello. No one seemed to heed me in this house, the old woman laying the table and the children were playing by the hearth. Did that Frederick put you up to this kind of follies? Don't you trust that devil? What's he doing in the graveyard? Cast spells on dug-up graves? You'll be lost of him, just like your good-for-nothing mother. Tut, tut. Hey, why, sit down and have a meal with us. Can't let a guest go hungry now, can I? Not that there's much, just some steamed turnips, but it's still a dinner. Just don't think of sweet-talking us into your silliness. We're not going anywhere, we've got a lot to do. No reason to. I realised words were useless, but I didn't refuse the snack. The old woman had mentioned something about my mother, but I didn't remember her. And no one had ever told me a word about her. I tried to get her to talk over the meal, but the Harriton pretended to be deaf. Oh, well they're not going to join us. Well, I guess we won't engage them, but, well, I guess free experience, but 16, yay! Let's carry on, shall we? So, we definitely want the full 1 stacks here, though. Frederick's message spoke of names and faces from the past, and he was going south. I assumed that meant he was going to meet some old acquaintances, and if so, they could only be meeting here, in Dry Rye Hill, a place where outsiders came to trade and were less shunned than other villages in the valley. A mile away from the village, it was clear that it was already gone. Those who came here not only hungered for killing, but also for raising. Or perhaps it was some twisted, alien approach to creation. What if these creatures were just as happy to contemplate mounds of burnt logs as a halfling is to behold a new, lovingly painted barn? And the earth scorched to a molten crust is as dear to them as his favourite hand-ploughed gardens of huge carrots are to Grandpa Hay. And if those caught by surprise lived here, what did they do to them? Yeah, certainly burnt structures everywhere. Well, let's do it. On our way, I tried to entertain myself in some way, to keep myself from succumbing to horror and despondency. I painted in my mind a picture of a stern smith shooing the screaming horned creatures. The reality turned out to be far beyond anything I could have imagined. Here, in what had once been the village square of Dry Rye Hill, I saw him. The word devil came to mind, for according to the drunken monk whose ranting I had once listened to in the local tavern, there was nothing more horrible than the devil, either in this world or in the other. The top of the two-legged creature's head, crowned with twisted horns, was visible even over the roofs. Each clawed foot, seemed capable of easily covering and crushing a halfling, and a scythe that could easily cut down a young grove glistened in its hands. That was when I realised the horned ones have no farriers. The devil just wags his finger at them, and they rush to shoe each other, or even themselves, fighting over hammers and nails. Apparently what I had seen disturbed my mind. I tried to stay on the edge of madness, while it threw even more absurd visions at me. My companions told me later I was laughing and shouting, "Get some longer, sharper nails," as they dragged me into the bushes away from the road. There, lassie," Costa muttered, trying to calm me down. "Sure, it's a big beastie, yeah, a foul one, but I'll hit it square in the eyes of the firecracker, and then we'll see who's got the reddest nose in this village. Empty your pouches, lads. We'll teach the devil how to celebrate New Year our way." Well, auto combat can't do it. Let's see if we can. We're going to need to build a wall of halflings between us and this devil. Because, yeah. It's going to be a bloody fight. And as soon as this guy gets into melee range, we're dead, so, yeah. At least we got some attack skill, I suppose, from our level ups. Alright, let's do it. Let's rain grenades down upon this bearded devil. His alleged rugged handsomeness. Well, 69 damage. Not bad. Those sort of damage numbers, we can probably actually do this. Like 18 regular halflings, it's like, oh, 20 damage. It's like, oh. Because these guys are just really good. I should actually point out that they also ignore 20% of the enemy's defense skill, which means, you know, they just deal better damage to giants. That whole David and Goliath theme. How much health do you have? I think we could just... Oh. I think it's probably pushing it to try and brawl you down. So let's just keep the wall of bodies in place. Unnecessarily teleport. Boom! Got the devil. Excellent. Let's proceed, shall we? More halflings. After the battle against the devil, we searched every corner of Dry Rye Hill. I feared that Frederick's burnt and mangled body was about to emerge from the rubble. However, we found no corpses in the village, but we saw many tracks, as if the owners of the big hooves were dragging something behind them. The tracks led to the eastern outskirts of the village, and the nearby forest had been burnt to the ground. Suddenly, swerving between the black, ugly dead trees, a small group of halflings came running straight at us. "There! There!" they shrieked, running at a steady gallop. I managed to catch a ginger boy with a crazy look in his eyes, and my companions grabbed the others. The redhead caught his breath and blurted out, "They took our folk, and now they're executing them, and not to death, even worse. Help, good people, don't let the wicked do such a thing. This is a fate worse than death, worse than anything in the world." And then he burst into tears. Well, welcome to the team. You are now promoted to being one stacks. Congratulations. Well, there's an altar of sacrifice there, so I guess they're being promoted for experience? Oh dear. The terrible demons are coming. So we are now being actively pursued as well as having a time limit. So, yeah. The nightmare came in the light of day. It was like if you wanted to wake up, you just couldn't because you were already awake. Wide awake and incredulous. Things that felt so important just a few days ago seemed to just be gone. Surrounded by fog. Or shrouded by fog, sorry. In the course of these days, the imaginary danger grew into a very real horror. Several villages in the north were gone, as if they had never existed. The news was brought by the lucky survivors. The stench of fire and sulphur was now everywhere, and any stirring of the bushes caused consternation. At dawn we ran into some refugees, the halflings. One I recognised as the elder of a village half a journey's away, looking around in a daze, unsure of what to do. "Uncle Ket, how did you make it here?" I called it out to him. "Don't tell me you ran through the woods all night, straight from your farm, or did you?" "Well, when someone starts ramming down your door, you'll not only get out of bed, but out of your pants too. So yeah, we ran off. We needed to gather people, that's what I think." "Who chased you off? Goblins like 5 years ago?" I already knew the answer, but somehow I hoped against hope that Kelt would say something else. "Devils, with some big old horns. I don't really know what they were," the elder said sheepishly. "They killed my dog at once. He whined so horribly. Then they kicked in the door, and I jumped out the window. Not time to get dressed, that was. They stood in a ring around the farm. I don't even remember how I got past them. I met someone else in the forest later, but I'm afraid that's all of us, and we'll never see the others." Well, poor bottomless village man, I guess. So Ash is after us now, with a host of terrible demons. We need to run away bravely. Fortunately, there's a stables, which will give us some movement speed. So manticores, we probably could honestly kill them, but I don't know if we're interested. The question is, where is Frederick? There is an underground lair, so we may be heading to a dungeon town somewhere. Some pit lords. That could be good XP. Okay, it looks like we need to be heading toward the pit lords. And we want that collar of conjuring. Can I get that now is the question. Maybe I should come back for it. Because this comes with us for the next scenario. Let's check the charm of mana and the collar of conjuring. We do want this. Well, I mean, nothing for it. Let's just drop a save. Give it a go. Yeah, it should be doable. It's only 10. Although maybe it's a fight where I should be splitting people into 2 stacks again. Well, we'll see how it looks. We do want this collar of conjuring. And we're going to get Henrietta a spellbook at some point. So let me see, I want to see if I'm massively overkilling these, because if I am, I think it might be better to try the battle again with like 2 18 stacks. Probably, to be honest. We'll see how we go. Waste some damage. The morale is nice. Let's halve one of those stacks immediately. And the terrible demons have now moved forward. So now these two shall bravely occupy them. Getting some sharper nails for the the hooves. Shoeing the demons. Well, morale's good. We might better get this killed then. Good work. That leadership coming in handy, eh? I'm absolutely overkilling these though. Well, there was a chance we could have killed them both if we got luck. But this should be pretty... well, he got morale, so I guess it's a good thing I left this guy down here. And we'll just save time by defending with the rest, and kill the grenade. Cool. Well, that was okay. We'll grab the Call of Conjuring and get on with our way. Because we're only going to hit level 6 in this scenario anyway. There's a prison, so Frederick might be in there. So let's head to the demons. The pit lords, rather. The wind blew a pail of stinking smoke in our direction, with it a great, desperate, almost inhuman shriek came to us, and then we heard an eerie rumbling voice, which seemed coming from beneath the ground. We rushed into the smoke, and after 100 paces we saw a picture that made our eyes water. In the middle of what was once a meadow, now just a circle of scorched earth, there was something like a huge half of a flat stone cauldron, its walls red hot, and around it a lake of thick fire slurry was glowing and glurging. Knee-deep in it, as if ignorant of the heat, tall, mighty creatures of red skin were standing, and a few more giants of the same kind were driving away a few stumbling halflings to the cauldron of long whips. Farther away near the burned trees, the horned beasts, already familiar to us, were standing guard over a large crowd of villagers. The halflings were brought to the cauldron, and among them I recognised Maltman, the innkeeper from Dry Rye Hill. Before I knew it, the red giant had swung his whip in a fiery line, and the 3 unfortunates fell dead. The crowd began shrieking again, while the monsters seemed to be doing their usual enjoyable work, tossing corpses to each other, easily tearing them limb from limb and putting them into the cauldron. One of the creatures looked inside, and then, apparently satisfied, made a sign to the others. The giants stared at the cauldron, gestured with their hands, some roared and their eyes glowed, and the voice we had heard from afar sounded again, as if the hell itself had spoken. The flesh of the executed instantly burst into flames, and then turned into a disgusting mash, boiled up into a huge cap of brown foam, fell, and in the midst of the cauldron the ugly figure of a one-horned monster appeared. Its body was billowing smoke, and the drying sludge dripped down from its body with a hiss. The ginger boy was right. Fate worse than death exists now. Fair enough. Well, I was thinking at first, necromancy, but these guys are demon farming. So there you go. Which is a classic cynical thing, right? It's just demon farming. Here in the fields of glory, which reduce luck, I believe. But unfortunately for us, our positive luck attribute means we can never have bad luck. We're always having positive luck. So, but let's position ourselves intelligently. Put this execution to an end. Save the civilians. It's usually a surefire way to look like a hero is to save some civilians. So here come the pit lords. And they got some speed to them. I suppose we're on their native terrain, aren't we? We might need to lure them away or body block with these two. Let's see what happens. We're again massively overkilling. I need to split these guys into 2 stacks. I'll do it after this fight. Well, I guess there's not really much for it. I can just sort of have to wait. Well, if I stand here, one of them will have to stop and kill this guy. And this guy's now body blocked. If I stand here, I think that will body block this one. And we give this guy someone to chew on. Like so. That should do it. Oh, they're already summoning demons. And then getting morale. I was happy to summon a demon. Yeah, certainly am making a mistake by not splitting up my army. Now, they may just want to res rather than actually get in there. No, they're going to get in there. There's an expensive fight, this. I don't like how... Well, bad luck descending on them's nice, but... This is an unacceptable amount of damage. So, let's see if we can do this fight again. I meant to be doing the Horn Demons. Well, through the magic of editing, you'll never know. You'll never see it. But what we actually could do instead, how about we do this? I think this is actually going to be stronger anyway. I've been saying I need to split my guys into 3 stacks, right? Let's actually give that a go. I'm curious now. This guy is of course ruined by the lake, so he's further back. So the standard halfling's not going to be getting any kills without luck. Maybe not quite enough damage. Well, morale's always good. So this guy's got 7 health left, so he can be killed off of a regular attack from the standard halflings. I think we'll be okay, actually. If this guy doesn't morale, I think we'll be okay. Yeah. One job. Well, I guess if you're morale, you can finish the job. I don't know if that was better or worse. I guess these are definitely 1 stacks now. Let's deal with the terrible demons. It gets even worse this time. Still, surely with the ability to split up my damage and not waste it, that should be better, right? Let's give that a go. Hopefully our positive luck actually shines through this time. Well, actually, we should actually just do enough damage straight out on a good roll. Yeah. Okay, so that wasn't quite a good roll, but we can finish it off with regular halflings. Yeah. So the only question is, how will the farmed demons turn out? That's my concern. Yeah, so now demon summoning. 2 demons. I guess it's not a problem, right? We just kill them immediately. I think 2 stacks is definitely working for this fight. The last fight, I'm not sure, but this seems fine. We'll go a few minutes longer because I had to redo this fight. Whip him good. But of course now he body blocks him as his friend, so yeah, we're fine here. The luckiest grenadiers. Excellent. That went much better. Well, let's at least free these halflings before calling it a day. Wow, a lot of them. 22. If only we could safely get back to this seer's hut for some more grenades, but that's not going to be viable, is it? So let's now visit this pack of demons. We'll free the prisoner and make that the end of the video. Again, a good result, but let's see if we can make no losses happen. We're starting to get a large number of demons to kill. It's like they're going out of fashion. Alright, let's get these 1 stacks into position. We'll get one staying down here to just bait people. Yeah, we'll put one here, so that way it can run up if needed. That should be fine. Wait. I'm definitely enjoying the extra speed on the grenadiers, that's for sure. Just everyone wait, please. Because the more people go down this part of the ravine, this terrain is excellent for interfering with their movement. Here's one guy's doing a lot for us. Okay, so the regular halflings can all get a kill by themselves almost. So let's see if they can manage that. They do. Excellent. The 1 stack smiles will help with that. So this guy can continue to be here for a bit longer, help us out. So both of these are basically dead. So, and next turn we can start wailing on the bottom stuff. We're still going to take a more than 1 turn to get to us. We don't even need to prioritise. Just pelt him away with the 1 stacks. We'll get him down eventually. Keep going. We can finish you off with the grenadiers. That's fine. Oh, the morale might mean that that 1 stack's in trouble. Unfortunate. He did a good job for us though, keeping all these demons at bay, single-handedly. Oh, morale. That's a pleasant thing indeed. Let's keep pelting away over rocks. The true David and Goliath story. Well, other than the actual one, I guess. So this one can't actually reach us, so we can just pelt the others, I guess. Well, we actually should be able to kill all of them, right? All but 1. Well, if the luck was on that, that would have helped. Oh, they're identical. Feeling happy enough for morale? No? Well, let's play it safe and put the 1 stack down here. If we want to play it super safe, we'll give him a 1 stack to just feast on. We'll just wall them off completely, how's that? Then, no matter what happens morale-wise, we are assured victory. Get wrecked. 2 losses. I don't know if that's what we had in the the auto combat, but either way, we've done it now. It's very tempting, but I want to have spellcasting, so let's get archery rather.
You're alive! Yes, I'm alive, and I'd very much like to know which Braccanan demonologist I've pissed off. I've never even crossed paths with any. What a mistake.
I didn't know what Frederick was talking about, but I was so happy to see him alive. I didn't even try to ask him anything. He, as usual, kept feeding me a mountain of thoughts and assumptions, as if I'd shown up at his lab in the morning and he couldn't wait to have my ear to share what he'd been cooking in his head.
Some time ago I received a letter personally signed by Kazandar. I think I told you about him. The freest mind in Braccanan, for which he will surely pay sooner or later. I had not heard of him since I left those lands, but a few years ago a messenger from him found me, and we entered into correspondence. It seems as though our connection has now been discovered. The signature in his last message looked forged to me. I decided that if I had been found indeed, I should act first. The letter proposed a meeting. Kazandar was supposedly going to send me a crucial component for a certain experiment, but there were demons waiting for me in Dry Rye. Those are creatures from another plane of existence. You just saw them. Somebody summoned them, but neglected control, so they captured me, killing half the village meanwhile.
Frederick, those things, they weren't summoned, or at least not by the wizards, certainly.
Not by the wizards? What makes you say that? Those were some archetypal demons. I'd seen stuffed ones in the Academy's museum.
Shooting stars. They came out of the rocks that fell from the sky that night.
Frederick's face fell. He began arguing, but I just took him to the place where the creatures were doing their ritual, and I showed him the huge crater at the village's edge. The stone that had fallen there was so big that a devil could fit inside, maybe even a few. The rock had split open, and the cracks revealed something strange and unnatural, either a tangle of angular pipes or... Well, I'll be. If only alchemists Whiteman and Staton could have seen that. I'd even want to think about. I suspected it was not a real meteor shower. Wait, so it was just a coincidence? Kazandar's messenger was actually waiting for me? And you're telling me those things have already taken over half the valley? Henrietta, we need to get back to my lab now. You get started there right now, and I didn't tell you this, but Kazandar had once talked me into joining an interesting project, and I'd set up another research site in the mountains to the east. Now I need to get there, and you...
I'm going straight north. You weren't out here alone. Another prisoner said there's a detachment of Rathian soldiers camped nearby. Apparently, someone escaped the valley and was able to call them for help. Refugees are flocking to them now. Frederick, listen. I know you don't much like halflings. Sure, I myself feel like a stranger in my own land sometimes, but I've seen what the monsters do. We have to do something or they'll kill everyone and turn them into their filthy flesh. If we don't try to save someone, well, that'll kill me.
Yeah, well, there might not be enough hands. In fact, that would be most helpful. Yes, that's right. We can't just stay aside. Let's listen. Take everyone you can to my lab. 300, maybe 5 if I can get old Govern's underpants to fly too. Someone's got to help me settle down when our flight lands.
Flight? Are we going to fly like birds?
Not exactly, but it's our only chance if the devils continue to destroy everything in their path with such abandon. Trust me, as you always have, and you'll soon see it for yourself. That's it then. I'm going to the mountains.
Okay, let's crack open this prison. And here we have Frederick. Hello, Frederick. You have air magic, water magic, intelligence, wisdom, 15 halflings, 2 leprechauns, and equestrian club, and boots of speed. We need to move fast. And that is going to be the end of this episode for now. Thank you for watching, my friends, and I shall see you next time, right here at KonfluxGames.